Imagine you're cruising across a bridge, maybe the Golden Gate or the Brooklyn Bridge, when a massive ship could bring it down. Now, that isn't a movie plot. It's happened in Baltimore last year, and now the National Transportation Safety Board, known as NTSB, is raising a red flag. They've pinpointed 68 bridges across the United States as vulnerable to collapse from vessel strikes. Is this likely? No, but it's possible. After the deadly Francis Scott Key Bridge incident, they're pushing to action. Which bridges made the list? And why is this surfacing now? And how does it affect your daily drive? Before we get into it, I want to remind you to like this video and to subscribe to this channel to keep up with what's going on in the automotive world. And here's a quick word from our video sponsor. Have you ever wondered what happened to Chuck Norris? At 84, he's still kicking butt, working out and full of energy for his grandkids. Shockingly, he's stronger and feels like he's in his 50s, all from one simple change. His wife started doing it too. Feels 10 years younger and has all-day energy. Chuck shares his method in a special video at chuckdefense.com/car. Click the link below to watch it now. You won't believe how easy it is. He focuses on 3 things that sabotage our health as we age. Visit chuckdefense.com/car to learn more. There's been an update, but first let's get up to speed. Picture it's March 26, 2024. Early morning, pitch dark in Baltimore, and you're driving over the Francis Scott Key Bridge, a 1.6-mile lifeline over a river. It's quite busy, and there are 6 construction workers patching potholes. Then the disaster hits. The Dolly, a 984-foot container ship loaded with 4,700 containers, loses power, leaving the port of Baltimore. No propulsion, no steering, just a 95,000-ton steel giant drifting. And at 1:24 a.m., 2 electrical failures strike. Despite a desperate mayday call at 1:27, it crashes into the pier at 6.5 knots. The bridge collapses instantly. Built in 1977, 47 years old, it wasn't designed for a ship that size. 6 workers fall into the icy river, only 2 survive. The port blocked with 50,000 tons of debris, and Baltimore's economy suffers $1 billion loss. And the NTSB's investigation revealed that this wasn't a one-off situation. It could happen again. Now fast forward to March 20th, 2025, nearly a year later, and the NTSB announces that 68 bridges across the United States in 19 states need urgent, in quote, vulnerability assessments to determine if they can withstand a ship strike. I don't know how common that is, but it probably should be tested before people die. These bridges were all built before 1991, predate modern safety standards, and lacks update evaluations. The list includes these icons: California's Golden Gate Bridge, New York's Brooklyn Bridge, Florida's Sunshine Skyway, and Maryland's Chesapeake Bay Bridge. The NTSB focused on spans over major shipping lines where ship sizes have grown or outgrown their original design. And the NTSB is pressing 30 bridge owners, their State Department of Transportation, port authorities, and others to act within 30 days to assess these structures. Their probe of the Key Bridge showed that they were 30 times riskier than the safety threshold that was set by the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials. Yes, there is such a group of people, and they're supposed to be checking roads and bridges. This level of danger suggests that 68 others could face similar threats if unchecked. A bridge's vulnerability stems from its age, design, and exposure in ship traffic. And the Key Bridge was completed in 1977, handling smaller vessels in the 1980s, like that one that grazed it in 1980 with minimal damage, which no one seems to remember. Today's ships, however, are far larger. In the 1970s, they carried 800 containers. And since the Panama Canal expansion in 2016, vessels like the Dolly haul up to 24,000 units. Massive floating cities that hit bridges that were not designed for any of this. And the NTSB found that the Maryland Transportation Authority never adjusted the risk calculations for those modern giants. The Transportation Authority has required these assessments since 1991. Updated in 2009 after Florida's Sunshine Skyway fell in 1980, killing 35 people. Maryland helped craft those rules, but didn't apply those same rules to the Key Bridge. The outcome? A bridge 30 times past the danger line, unnoticed until it was too late. Now the NTSB's list of 68 pre-1991 bridges over busy waterways face the same risk without proper scrutiny. Spans like Louisiana's Huey P. Long and Massachusetts' Tobin are critical routes used daily. A vulnerable assessment uses a mathematical model factoring in the ship's size, speed, traffic patterns, and bridge strength to produce a risk score. And if it exceeds that transportation's limit, solutions like pier reinforcements or tugboat escorts can lower that danger. And new bridges have followed these federal mandates since 1994. But there are a bunch of them, obviously, that don't. And many of the older ones remain untested until now. Now, somebody's speaking out. And the NTSB doesn't claim these 68 bridges are going to fall tomorrow, so don't fear if you cross any of them like the Golden Gate, whose owners hired consultants in 2025. And New York's Department of Transportation notes the East River rarely sees Dolly-sized ships. Still, the risk persists. Since 2021, over 300 ships lost propulsion in U.S. waterways, often near bridges. It's pretty scary. And the Key Bridge collapse serves as a stark warning with 6 lives lost and broader consequences possible. Retrofitting bridges with pier reinforcements or tugboat escorts could cost millions per structure. And the new Key Bridge carries a price tag of $1.7 to $1.9 billion, largely funded by the feds, which means it's your tax dollar, with a completion date of 2028. If several of the 68 bridges fail, losses could climb into the billions, disrupting ports like Long Beach or Miami and hammering national trade. Maryland's MDTA argues that Dolly's owner bears responsibility, citing negligence. They settled with the Justice Department for $102 million in October of 2024 after evidence of poor maintenance, faulty transformers, and disabled backups. NTSB Chair Jennifer Hamady countered with Maryland's stance. You had decades to assess this. You didn't have the data, and we did the work ourselves. Owners of the 68 bridges must respond within 30 days. Some, like Massachusetts DOT, are already acting. Others remain uncertain. For your commute, crossing one of these 68 bridges like the Verrazano Narrows or the Sunshine Skyway means staying alert. Near-term changes might include stricter tugboat regulations or adjusting shipping lanes. Over time, bridges could become stronger and costlier, or detours might emerge if closures occur, which is better than being on a bridge that was struck by a boat. The NTSB has sounded the alarm on 68 U.S. bridges after the Key Bridge tragedy exposed the stakes. From California to Florida, these spans need evaluation before another ship turns a simple drive into a disaster, or other roads and bridges across the country have problems. The U.S. Department of Transportation's Federal Highway Administration announced this week that there is nearly $4.9 billion in available funding for major bridge projects through the Bridge Investment Program and up to $500 million for repairing and replacing bridges in rural areas through the Competitive Highway Bridge Program. The funding opportunity presented by Sean Duffy removes woke Biden-era requirements that tied critical infrastructure funding to social justice and Green New Scam climate initiatives, stated U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. This announcement will help address the tens of thousands of bridges across the country, including approximately 42,000 bridges in poor condition that are in dire need of repair. Bridges are an essential part of the nation's infrastructure because it's a vital economic role that they play in America's commerce. Let's start rebuilding America and its roads for all drivers. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.